Yeah, I found that really interesting. And we do quite a bit of ad research. And in fact, that goes way back when I first started in eye tracking. That was one of the big things when kind of the internet took off and they had banner ads. And it was fascinated me because with eye tracking, you could just see the patterns of viewing attention. Um, like banner ads would catch people's eyes, and then after a little while, you'd see them just very deliberately just
Yeah.
avoiding the banner ads. So then they came up with the new ad, the embedded ad, and then the dynamic ad. And over the years, they came up with different ads, and you'd see people would learn to
Hmm.
avoid those ads, and they'd have to come up with something new. And I find it fascinating because people will say they avoid ads, they don't like ads, they don't watch ads. But in the end, they do. Like they will watch ads if they're good ads, right? And if they're engaging ads. Like, and it's you still see it. And then it's fascinating to understand, well, what is it that makes it good? Is it that makes it engaging and draws them in? And to your point, they were engaged with other ads. So even in the that they weren't AI enabled, right? They did engage with some ads and themes that came up with just ads being more engaging. Of course, the most common was relevance. And I would almost argue maybe not so much relevance, but let's not make it irrelevant, right? Nowadays, everyone expects targeting. Everyone expects it to somehow speak to them. So at a minimum, it should be relevant and familiar. But then if you get into some of the more details, things that they liked, or if they were more of a conversation with the viewer. If it's familiar, if it's something that they're interested in, if it has a tone that they like, that if it's more entertaining, if it has familiar characters or familiar themes that they like or lifestyle that's kind of familiar to them, kind of the things that they relate to are all what they find more engaging. Certainly good music can help, and bright colors, things like that can certainly help as well. So that's kind of the typical engagement. What was fascinating then with the AI enabled ads is that they did all that and they did more, right? Because they were watching a show that they enjoyed. They enjoyed the characters, they enjoyed the actors, they enjoyed the content. And now ads came up and they enjoyed the style. It was a comedy. And now ads came up with the same actors in it and the same characters and the same comedy, like some of this comedy in it and some of the same products and the same things that they just saw that were familiar. And so it was all, and since they had chose to watch this show, they were now experiencing ads that they could relate to and that were familiar. So it was just it was almost like a whole new level of kind of that connection that they had that drove that engagement. And it was just, and I think another big comment on it, what I thought was really interesting, and especially like using some of the same characters, like it was like a seamless point, like we talked about earlier, the importance of like when that episode comes or the break comes in the episode and you transition to ad, like that's your moment of truth right there. You know what I mean? Like that's like they're going to get up and go or they're not. And by kind of using like having it so similar to that content they were just watching, they're like, whoa, it's kind of still going on. I'm still entertained. I almost want to keep watching. And we even had comments saying that they didn't want to get up or do something else. Like they wanted to keep watching because this was really entertaining. This was engaging. And so it took it to like this next level of engagement that participants really responded well to.